And to speak more about this, we are now joined in the new studio by Shura Council member Ms. Lina Habib Qasem. Hello, Ms. Lina, welcome to the studio. Can you tell us more about the content of His Majesty the King's speech?
Hello, good evening, and thank you for having me with you tonight. Yes, yesterday at the National Assembly's opening, His Majesty gave a very comprehensive speech, which was reflecting basically the period ahead of us, from a visionary man, from a visionary leader, and which cares about the development and focuses on the development, the sustainable development of the kingdom, and to benefit the people of Bahrain.
And can you tell us about the importance of the cooperation as well between the executive and legislative authorities?
Yeah, well, I'd like to actually add a few points about the speech, but
sure.
In terms of the speech, it focused on a few aspects as a framework, like political aspects, economic, social, and legislative. And he, of course, identified the national priorities of this term for both the legislative and the executive branches to work together on. A few examples of that is, of course, working on the Vision 2050, the economic vision, enhancing the national identity of Bahrainis, the foreign policy, which is based on dialogue and diplomacy, of course. All these together, of course, will need the joint effort and cooperation of both executive and the legislative branches to work towards economic development and overall sustainable development for the kingdom to benefit the people of Bahrain, which are, of course, the priority of His Majesty and His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister.
And what is the importance of this cooperation between the legislative and executive?
Well, the cooperation between the executive and legislative branches is something continuous. It's something that we've had over, of course, the 25 years since His Majesty initiated the democratic reform process in the Kingdom of Bahrain. Now it takes different forms. There's dialogue, there's continuous cooperation, communication, meetings. Some meetings, of course, are headed by His Royal Highness, sometimes even His Majesty. And of course, these are to work jointly together towards all the national interests, the national goals of the period, again, like I said, for the enhancement of the economic well-being of Bahrain and Bahrainis. And here it's important to note that, of course, by the Constitution of Bahrain, we are mandated as two branches, the executive and legislative, to work together. And we're we'd say two wings of a bird. We fly together, we complement each other, and one cannot work without the other. So yes, and of course, working together also puts a clear vision for the period ahead, for the national goals to be met, for the projects, the vital projects, and there are many forms of cooperation, as you can see, I'm sure.
Indeed. And Ms. Lina, is there anything else you would like to add?
Well, I'd like to take this opportunity. We would like to renew our pledge of allegiance to His Majesty, the King of Bahrain, and we hope to meet his expectations in carrying our national duties, really, in further enhancing the achievements of the legislative branch. And may Allah bless Bahrain.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Lina Qasem, for joining us here tonight.
Thank you.